can I do everything that I already know how to do? And can I do it quickly without knowing a single thing about it, without having watched tutorial videos? We're gonna take it easy today and just enjoy this process of discovery. This old guy right here came out in 2009. Today we're gonna see my reaction if I can just get the sounds that I used to get out of this boy with a lot of dust on it many years ago. With the same old guitar, just plugged in to see if I can bring it to life. Because if you've been following, we also have a Gibson Les Paul that we're customizing, that we're also gonna run into this and compare the tones from. But so a week after you see this video come out, that's when we'll be able to test all that stuff out, and we're upgrading that guitar too entirely. So here goes nothing. I think that's pretty good. Gear day. Sweetwater had a deal on it. I waited. Neural DSP's quad Cortex. Now, why did I go with this modeler? Not sponsored. This is just my choice, as was the Gibson, as was all the musical choices I've made up to this point. After looking through all the different processors, I loved several different videos showcasing the tone were convincing me that this will be the simplest way to get me going into the ecosystem. The Mini dropped as well. Thought about it, but there's a very special reason also why I ended up going with this one. That's what you're about to find out. So we have a demo unit. This slashed almost $200 off the price. This is the case for it. Of course, we got the candy. For years, I've tried to achieve a certain level of tone, and I was able to do a lot with little. When the quad Cortex came on my radar, I thought this might be the next step in modeling after using plugins. Many different recording tricks to really boost the sound of a cool Fender Tele and this guy right here, hashtag Saturday Guitar. Today we're gonna be trying to achieve those tones, but what more of what I was thinking of in my head. And we're just gonna see how close I can get as quick as I can. And also, as I said, there's a very special element of this called white gold. This guy's gonna take us there. Now we do have a white gold Gibson coming, which would be the perfect pair for this right here. Couldn't believe there was a demo version that allowed me to save some money on it. Really begin this journey of transforming the sound and re-recording some of my stuff that means a lot to me. That's incredible. That's gonna go perfect with the white gold hardware. I already have the hardware and everything picked out for the guitar. These are they're gonna be the pickups. My goodness. Here is the unit. There's the size comparison. Just basically the board without the pedal. We're not even gonna use the expression pedal today because the whole expression I need is from the tone itself. Cool stickers on the guide. It's definitely saving that box. Got the USB cable, which we'll mess with at some point, and the power supply with the standard brick. Would like to see this case. Got to make sure everything's okay, you know, because when you order from Sweetwater, your Sweetwater rep is going to call in and check in and see how everything's doing. Shout out to Evan, the best Sweetwater rep there ever is and was. Check that out. Hard shell, which is what I wanted. I just wanted to make sure guy doesn't get damaged. Perfect. There's a strap too. Place for cables and power supplies. Digging it. Wow. Let's see if we can get those tones. All right. One thing about this as it lights up is that we're going to also need, more likely, a software update. And there it is. What I would normally do. If I was just wanting to record something is I would open up Reaper, pull it up on. Come on, swivel screens. Don't fail me now. Oh, that's awesome. All right. We're just gonna go in here to guitar. I don't have a guitar stand. All right, well, it looks like Quad Cortex is booted up. Phase 1 complete, so when I come back, we'll see what it sounds like on the old guitar. Throwback. Can I do everything that I already know how to do? And can I do it quickly without knowing a single thing about it, without having watched tutorial videos? Let's do that. Run that. All right.
Sorry.
That's fine.
They
I haven't started yet.
James Harden just got traded to the Cavs for Darius Garland.
So that means the Cavs will be better?
I don't know, because James Harden's old. He's 36. Darius Garland is young. And Darius Garland wasn't doing great, I understand, but James Harden's kind of washed now. So I don't know what to think.
Oh.
Dad loves James Harden, and he's even hesitant on it.
On paper, it would have sounded good.
Right. I don't know. It's just crazy. I had to break the news.
I'm gonna try to get this guitar through it, just like old days. White gold, it'll go good with my Gibson. But we'll see how it sounds with this guy. Yeah, channeling me from 12 years ago. I'm even wearing white gold. That'll be fun. It should be turning on shortly. It's already tangled. Normally I would run it through the mono channel, send it to the amp. But since we're not doing an amp today and we got an amps processor here, we're gonna run it to the record out and we're gonna run it through just the amp sims here because I would get some good sounds on these guys. But we're gonna start with just that clean amp. Let's get the tuner up though first. That sounds pretty good, all right. We're not gonna be perfectionists when we have a Floyd Rose. All right, now for this guy, I would love to run capture out. I think we just want, I thought there'd be just like a mono out, but it looks like running it out of a headphone out just seems wrong. I'm gonna Google which one. So you can use 1 or 2 or 3 and 4. So we'll just do 3. That's what I thought it would be. Now, close that. Thank you. Let's just record the whole session, I guess. All right. Oh, I'm hearing some cool stuff. When a guitar picks. That's cool. Already running over my cable. All right, cool. Click in between presets. Oh, okay. Plexi normal. We're up and running. Let's hang on to Quad Cortex for a second. I was rewatching an old video trying to sound like Mark Knopfler. I think we're good with that. Cool thing about my 2014 demos right here is I had just this guitar and I was running into this pedal board in 2014. I am loving this already. This is super intuitive as I'm just diving in. I found one preset that sounds pretty good. It's got a little too much reverb on it and that's pretty much it. We'll play through this once on the Boss. Burp, bop, bada boop, bop. So we're rolling there and I have this pulled up. Now on DaVinci Resolve, they have just great music remix feature. So I just muted the guitar and the bass. So you'll be able to hear what that sounds like. And I'll jam along with it as I've sort of picked it out. So let's get the Boss ME70 sounds. Let's just see what I dialed in here. Is that old guitar? I really like that tone. That's pretty decent tone. And then you had that neck pickup of the... dig in there. Let's just switch over to the quad Cortex. I'm sure I could dial it in a lot more on here, but... Ooh, I kind of like that. I like how easy it is to adjust. It's a looper, okay. Oh, it's a doubler. Instantly diving into the menu on that. I need to learn how to get that pure sound that I'm used to. I don't know how to describe it, but this is exactly what I would hear if I mic'd up, you know, a condenser mic on a cab in the room. So I want to give it a shot. I think it's missing something, but I'm going to see if I can jam. Should I even switch back? Yeah. Banana, 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 banana. Wow. It's lacking in bass now. There's some bass back. I don't think it feels like a real amp in the room. Sounds kind of thin, but it sounds okay in the mix. So I don't know what I think about that. I think I'm gonna have a lot more fun dialing in sounds on that, I can tell you that. There's just something thin about that Bossy Me 70, but if I go back here, oh. That's the problem, it was sending both tones. So I was hearing my DI on top of this, and that was what I was sounding. Whoa. I love these presets. These are a great place to start. Makes a cheap guitar sound good, I'll tell you that. Wanted to find a really cool ambient tone like this. And we're on the US super normal setting on the quad chord, super normal. So this one's in like, oh, standard. Hey, Pop. Woo! Woo! Had a lot of brightness on it too, so we need to kind of, yeah. So you can hit these A, B, C, or D, and you can kind of just switch, like, that's cool. See, that's pretty clean. It's got a little heat to it. So if I back off the volume, it's still doing that thing, that crunchy thing. See how it kind of breaks up when you dig into it? Let's change amps. Maybe that amp is too hot. Kind of sounds thin. So we've been playing with it like 20 minutes and we're already finding how much a difference the amp is making, and it is beautiful. That's a cool preset, and then you could go, even if you just do the standard stuff, and you kind of wash it out, you know, and that spring reverb. Woohoo. I love being able to articulate the compressor. We have an amp, so this is the one we landed on, the US Deluxe 64 vintage, and a 2-rock EV vintage 79. Running in. I just love the tone of it, but it's missing a little pizzazz. I don't know if that's just volume. It's a beautiful clean tone. I think it needs a little more juice. Maybe we'll push the amp a little harder. Then back off the amp. Oh, I love that. All right, give me that juice. Let's try it again. Just do it. We're just doing like a cool ambient guitar thing. We got to restart this one. All righty, my friend. Looking juicy. The boss. And I know right where to go. Just go to the clean setting. Ooh, I love that. One thing I don't like about dialing in the compressor in this is it's not really intuitive. Attack, sustain, and level. And I'm not a huge fan of those settings on here. But I like the results. It's very, without, makes it pop. have to slowly like dial in the level. And it's hard because you have to keep the level at about 50 and then slowly dial these in until you get that sort of just subtle compression. We're gonna try to do it. Boss, then we'll do the quad. Never done this with whammy. That's what it is, okay. Hear how the quad Cortex sounds. Oh me, oh my. All right, I've spent some time jamming on this guy, the quad Cortex, and really like the tones I'm getting out of this, so let's just run it back. Open chord. That's that original tone. Back that off a little bit. This is with my old guitar that has not been set up, with a whammy bar that does not let it stay in tune. Sounds good. I'm capoed. I'm running, I don't even know how to use a quad Cortex. Never seen a video on it. I got it preset up. And just from my knowledge of audio, despite having years to dial this thing in, here's the tonal difference between the quad Cortex and the Boss. Boss. Oh my goodness. What is it missing? There's something wrong. All right, let's run it. Let's see how we do. We got it dialed in a little bit better. Here's some of those tones. I'm loving the tones. The only other tones out of this that we haven't got yet are the metal tones, and I really want to hear what that sounds like. It's finally like I'm hearing an amp mic'd up properly. That is my first gut reaction, and it sounds right. It just sounds right. I don't have to fidget with it. I don't have to pretend. I feel like this is just doing it. That's exciting, because that's a lot more ready for EQ and other stuff. And thick, full-bodied. That was the tone I was going for when I was trying to record that. So that's my takeaway on the Quad Cortex. Now, let's see if we can dial in some metal tones, just like off the cuff. What else you got? Ooh. Hold on, so that has a pitch thing on it. That's weird. If I take off my headphones, I'll freak out. Wow, that sounds really close to yeah, 2 steps down. Okay. We'll just disable that for a second. We have like 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, we'll save it to number 1A. We're gonna call it like Mr. Penguin. All right, we got Mr. Penguin up and running, and what's my preset for here? That's pretty much the tone right there. We don't want any reverb. That's pretty easy. Yep. Whoa. Just bass down the middle. My whole thing with this metal preset, going back here, is just that simple riff. That's that sound, almost exactly that sound. Bam. All right. Pretty good. I like it. I need to practice. Oh yeah. Come on, baby. Cool, man. Oh, I have to do the breakdown. Come on, switch me over to quad Cortex now. All right. It's definitely the boss. Oh yeah, this is the quad Cortex. How dialed in that is. Oh, I rolled the tone down. This camera's gonna die. We'll just do it from this camera. Sorry, camera B. All right, have some fun with me. And some of these sounds, I had a ton of mids and treble. All right, so that's the tone on that. Not really, the fine tuning of the bass mids and treble is just not quite there. Makes it a little harsh. That's what I noticed right there. But it still rocks. So then we plug in the quad Cortex. Oh yeah. Woo! Dialing it in for 30 or 40 minutes. I don't know if there's much else to say about that. The tone on that is so exciting. I'm saving that as Mr. Penguin, because I have dialed that in. It's got like no bass underneath it, but those were the tones that I was used to. And I would obviously add other layers. So I would scoop a lot of the bass out. But down back with the boss. Can it still chug? Bop. I just need to practice, but there you go. Versus quad Cortex. Man, that amp is, that was the tone I was going for, I really think. And it sounds even better in the mix. I think that gets the point across right there. That was just a 3-song sampler, and that's been so much fun. I think we've been filming just about 3 hours if you include the unboxing of this guy. This guy is sticking around, and we're gonna deep dive, and I'm gonna learn as much as I can so that we're ready for the white gold Gibson. And if we can make this guy sound great, I know we can make that Gibson sound fantabuloso. Because that guitar is just kind of limited in what it can do. In the Boss ME70, I think we've exhausted what it can do, and the thinness is really showing, the age is really showing, and the menu diving is not that bad. I was spending about the same amount of time using this as I was trying to figure out the limitations of this. So we're gonna stop the recording of that. I appreciate you guys stopping by. I haven't strung together mixed audio in a while, so we'll have fun doing that. I want to go for more of the sounds that I was going for on some of the newer recordings, but even just comparing it to what, the night and day difference without knowing anything of what I'm doing. So just imagine what I'll be able to do once I dive into it with the same amount of, 12 years worth of knowledge on this guy. That says something. We'll see you back real soon with more guitar awesomeness. Great job, Neural. Keep on grooving your way, guys.